ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to all who are attending this class. We are in the fourth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Until last class, we saw that how Bhagavan is responding to the doubt raised by Arjuna. As Bhagavan had said in the beginning that the secret of yoga, of karma yoga, this I have said since the beginning of time, and Arjuna cites his doubt that your birth is of the recent time. How could you be at the beginning of time? So clearly referring to his body. So Bhagavan clarifies to him that he is that Parabrahman, that Avyaya Atma, then he is also the Lord of the beings, Bhutanam Ishvara, and then through his own Maya, he also takes birth in the flesh and bones. So as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and when and why he takes the birth as Avatara, so yada yada hi dharma se, etc. And he says that knowing this principle, knowing if someone knows his actions and his birth as divine, so what happens to him? That he will not be born again and he will attain to me. And many like this have already done so. Bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agataha. And then he clarifies. So thinking that Arjuna should not again fall into doubt, that he says that is not only the way, that is not the only way that by which one can attain to me. That bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agataha vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mamupashritaha. That giving up this anger, fear and attachment, being full of me, being surrendered to me, that you will attain to me, that is not the only way, he says. Not only that, he says, he clarifies and makes such a bold and universal statement that whosoever worships me in whatsoever way, ye yatha mam prapadyante, tas tathaiva bhajamyaham. I make them happy, I propitiate them through that means, to whatever approach somebody comes to me. Because in all ways, a man or a human being is seeking to him only. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasha. That by all means, man is trying to reach out to me only. So, this idea we were discussing in the last class, that it doesn't mean that uh, what's the meaning of this statement, that manusha partha sarvasha ye yathamam prapadyante, that it is not only the worshipping of God, means somebody might interpret it in this way, that knowing Krishna as a son of Devaki and Vasudev as avatara, he is also Parabrahma because he is saying in the Gita, and also he is the Lord of the beings, he is the Bhutanam Ishvara. So whosoever knows me in this way, evam yo vetti tatvatah. So whosoever knows me in this way, he attains to me. That tyaktva deham punarjanma na eti mameti sorjuna. So he attained to me. So, but if somebody worships, suppose, another form of Vishnu, so he will also attain to me. Not only that, if he is worshipping, suppose, another deity like Krishna, Shiva, or Durga, or Kali, or suppose some other deity, or suppose talk about, so he will also come to me. So is that the meaning? Suppose he is born in another religion, he is worshipping a different god. Whether he will come to me? Yes, he will also come to me. Definitely, then me does not mean as Krishna, as a name and form, defined by or qualified by name and form. It doesn't mean that. It cannot mean that. If he is talking about the universality, then that form cannot be particular. To which, to the highest that truth, that cannot be particular, defined by name and form as, for example, Krishna or Rama or anything. That cannot be particular. It has to be as universal and general as the principle of Veya Atma, Brahman, that consciousness, that reality, which transcends all name and form can merge into it. It can be only such reality. So, whether it is talked about the people who are worshipping God or seeking God, no, it goes, this statement even goes beyond that. Whosoever doing whatsoever way, whatsoever he is seeking God alone. That is a grand statement. Through different desires, motivated, propelled by different desires, man is seeking into the world different objects to pacify his heart, to pacify his desires. In the sake of, in the search of pleasure, or to ward off the displeasure, discomfort, he is motivated into different actions. Ye yathamam prapadyante. They are all seeking him only. They are all trying to reach that Satchidananda Parabrahma only. Because it is the ultimate of happiness, the ultimate pleasure, the ultimate bliss, Satchid Ananda, infinite bliss. And that infinite we are seeking into the finite. But they are all trying to find me only. Just due to ignorance, they seek that Ananta into Santa. They seek that infinite into the finite. They seek God into the world through senses, through sense gratification. He says, I make them happy, I give them what they want. Anugrunnami, that means dadami. He has used the word bhajami aham. Tans tathaiva. Ye yathamam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. Tatha eva. So, here Shankaracharya in his commentary, he connects this to the next verse. So in this way, that as if Arjuna is raising a doubt, or in his mind there is doubt, that if you are granting boon to all, whoever worships you or whoever try to approach you in whatsoever way, then why don't all people seek you, seek God, and realize this truth? And in that response, then Bhagwan says this next 12th verse, talking about seeking God, seeking that same Satchidananda Parabrahman into different, these small petty objectives of the world. And God is referring to it as ye yathamam prapadyante, that whosoever approaches me, seeks me in whatsoever way. Reminds me of the a small this analogy or words of Sri Ramakrishna. He says this in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, that when a child try to call his father, he cannot utter his name like the grown up children. So instead of Baba or Papa, he can say just Pa or Ba. But his father can understand that his son is trying to seek him. He is not offended by it that he is not able to utter his name clearly and trying to call upon him properly. He is not offended by it. So is God's. That is the example cited by Sri Ramakrishna. So, meaning the conclusion, the inference from the story of, or the analogy of Sri Ramakrishna is that however our effort might be incomplete, imperfect, God knows them. God knows them. He is not offended by it. And He will try to give you what you need, what will be best for you. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. So, through Shankara's commentary, we see that Arjuna is raising a doubt that why every person does not seek you and become realized. I raised a different doubt in the last class, that even in the world, that people seek different things, why they don't get everything in the world. Suppose I am not seeking God, some person is not seeking God, he is seeking something else in the world. Try to fulfill his ambition. God says here that he is going to tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. I will make him happy. I will give him what he wants. Does he get it? Or does he get it so easily, so cheaply, as soon as he asks it and he gets it? Like a child, suppose, successfully asks his father, gets his attention. He gets it probably. So, I said that through that explanation, whether into you are seeking world or you are seeking the spirit, the Atman, the God within, in any case, the success of it is going to come through your karma alone. Karma alone. In Kathamrita, in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Thakur Sri Ramakrishna, the Master, says that karma korte hoy, that you have to do karma. That what karma? This jap, dhyan, ityadi, he says, that they are necessary for the purification, attenuation of your mind. It will set your mind in right tune to seek Him, to come close to Him, to come close to that consciousness, to that reality where it can reflect itself. You do not have to create it, it is there already as it is. He gave the example of a needle which is covered with the mud. As soon as mud is washed off, what will happen? The magnet, its pull is already there. It will very naturally attract that needle to itself. He gives various examples that like a farmer, he brings water from a channel, from a different source up to his field, up to his farm field. What happens? As soon as the water reaches, then the last portion of it is dissolved into the water, the burns of the his farm field, and water gushes into the field. So he has to do until that. So through karma alone, this, and in every aspect, in different various ways, this is stressed in Bhagavad Gita. That karma is not to abandon. Through karma alone is the way. Karma itself, there is an end. One has to seek the end of it. But through karma alone, not by abandoning it. This is the principal message of the Bhagavad Gita. So, in that same context, now this following verse is coming. He says, Kangshantam karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. So, Kangshantam means abhipsantah, in the words of Shankaracharya, that who is desirous of karmanam siddhim, through fruition of his action which are motivated towards the seeking these objectives of the world, karmanam siddhim. What do they do? Ijanta iha devata, the devatas, gods of this world. Now, in earlier classes, I had brought this idea that devata, the small gods, who when propitiated, they grant you these blessings in the form of your desire, satisfaction of worldly desires. Iha devataha. These devatas, then again, talking in the context of spiritual practice, we know that, and we had discussed this idea, that different indriyas, jnanendriyas and karmendriyas, they are associated with certain kind of deity, as if that deity is presiding over that jnanendriya or karmendriya. For example, Surya is the deity for the eyes, chakshuhu. Then Vayu is the deity for the sparshendriya, that is skin. The sparsha jnana is gained through the indriya of called skin, tvacha, tvak. So, like Varuna is the deity for the rasa, that is tongue, through which you can taste or get the knowledge of a taste of a substance when came in contact with. So, like this way, for smell there are Ashwini Kumaras, and for sound there is a deity called Dik. So similarly, there is a deity for Indra as if presiding over the organ of hands, then Upendra or the organs of legs, etc. So you can imagine this idea of devatas since the Upanishadic time, and even beyond that, even before that, something which is powerful, which is subtle, which is not very apparent, which we can see the effect of, the personification of such ideas, such forces, whether in nature or whether in, that's why again in human body, in the person of a being, they all are referred as devatas because they are superior, as if this earth and there is a div which is the higher loka, as if they are residing over that because they are superior. Devata. Also in the same sense of Dyotana, because they make you aware of, because they are the instruments of knowledge. As an lamp, as an light, enlighten something, and that's why you can see, you can know something. Dyotana. So are the Devatas presiding over the Indriyas, associated with the particular sense organs or particular sense knowledge, sense object. Now, further extending this idea that something superior, something extraordinary, something powerful, we see so much in this world that everything we are a computer. Different kinds of services we seek shelter of, they become as if God, a powerful person, officer. Everywhere that element of that Devata is present. We seek whenever we need a favor, a special grace, when we do not see the cause and effect relationship directly. And we want it as if it is to be granted by some powerful being. He is Devata in that context. We are seeking, we are worshipping, we are doing sadhana. Suppose some guy is very good at some skills at his computer, software or hardware, or programming, or in a different field. Even in their community, there are some exceptional guys. For software engineer, when we say software engineer, they are not of the same type. A software engineer knows that. And I am somebody, I am ordinary person, and there is some exceptionally genius guy. The superiority. Through practice, through karmas, or through special set of circumstances, a person can have that advantage. Devata. And when these Devatas are propitiated, you get Siddhi here in this world. And why so? Because Kshipram hi Manushe Loke. Here this in Manushya Loka, this Siddhir Bhavati Karmaja, that success through work is easier. Kshipram is quicker. This is the order of the things. Karma is natural, and fruition of success, the response to a stimuli, is quicker here. And we can understand this if we put this idea into contrast with something trying to, when we try to work inside within ourselves instead of external world, it is difficult. It is difficult. Where you have to work and there is nobody to grace, give a blessing so that we can correct something within you. Suppose you have a fault, something you have, you try to bring out that change, try to get rid of that bad habit, try to bring in some positive change in your character. It is difficult. It is easier to work outside, to bring out change in the external situation. To bring a change in internal situation, it is difficult. Kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Through karma, when propitiated through this God, yajanta iya devata. Siddhir bhavati karmaja. This manushya loka. So Shankaracharya points out that means the fruition of work is also present in other lokas also apart from manushya loka. Here it is quicker. If these gods of these worlds are propitiated, he'd give an example of Indra, Agni, etc. Shankaracharya in his Shankar Bhashya. But we can extend that idea that to every god, whosoever we consider a powerful person who can grant us a favor, That is the way of this world. Every time we seek it, whenever we see that straight away our karmas are not going to mature into the cause, it is not going to mature into fruits. When we find it difficult, we try to seek the favor. And they behave as if like gods. Even a small petty clerk at some government office, he behaves like as if God, because you are at his mercy. You propitiate him, probably give some bribe, and then very gracefully he passes on your file to the other desk, or give you some piece of information, etc., etc. Because you see no way out, a causal uh, chain of reaction of karmas which maturing into a desirable effect, you do not see that way, and you propitiate yajanta iha devata, because you know that kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. So this is rather means a two different statement, that kangshantam karmanam siddhim, because when you want your work, your actions to go to conclusion, to fruits, in that desire you worship iha devataha. Working for such desires or working for such actions and gaining fruits through the action, through worshipping a deity, a devata, or otherwise in a simple causal cause to effect chain of reaction. This is easier. Siddhir bhavati karmaja, kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. This is easier. So something is difficult, which is not gained through action, supposedly. Not action which are outwardly seeking into the world, seeking the objectives into the world, objectives of satisfaction of your worldly desires, to gain something or to get rid of something. This is easier comparable to when you try to give that up and you try to seek something higher, the spirit, the spiritual. So that is not so easily gotten. However, whatsoever you want to gain, whether in the outer world or in the inner world, in the spiritual world or in this material world, everything has to come through action. Everything has to come through proper course of action. In outside world, it is comparatively easier. In inside world, not so. But hard work has to be put. So this is the 12th verse. Kangshantam karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. So in any case, whosoever approaches me through his course of action, I had earlier in the last class, I had quoted this verse also of this same chapter, na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya, of the 5th chapter, of lokasya srujati prabhu, na karma phala sayogam swabhavastu pravartate. I think it is 14th verse or something. Yes, 14th verse of the 5th chapter. So he says that neither agency nor action does the Lord create for the world, nor does he bring about the union with the fruit of action. It is universal ignorance that does it all. Swabhavastu pravartate, or prakruti. Instead of ignorance, we can say prakruti of the gunads. So different people, according to what they seek, so is going to get the results thereof. So citing this, the different in the constitution of the people, of the mental attitude of the people, he now says in the following verse that chatur varnyam maya srushtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaram api mam viddhi akartaram avyayam. Avyayam. So, what is being said here? That varna, or you can say means a type. Varna also means a color or four shades of people. Maya Srishtam, that Maya Srishtam, that he has created it, or through him, if Maya, because it is in the third case, and third case is instrumental case, through him it is created. Meaning that from him only they are originated. These four archetypes of the constitution of the people, four different types of people, men, women, etc., whosoever. Chaturvarnam, four distinctly, generally, majorly speaking, in this way, which tells about the general characteristic of the people. He says that guna karma vibhagashaha. So how does they are divided? According to their gunas. Guna is pradhana because it is sukshma. It is more pervading. It is more enduring. It is the character of the person. It is going to stay. And karma, according to that, his character, his qualities, his propensity towards different kind of actions, what is desirable to him and something is not. Doing something is more, he feel ease at, it is according to his nature, and some other thing is not so that much. He does not feel at ease with some other actions. This is something to his own true nature, character, guna. So, these four varnas they are namely Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Four varnas. These are four archetypes of the people. They are, and this type of people, this is based upon their character. This character, which is, it is also now there is this social caste, but jata means janma, which you get by birth. But generally, how do we refer jati or social caste in the most abused form, that what you get by birth, what is get decided by birth, that is your jati. The true meaning of it should be jati, which is even something which that jataka, that individual has even before birth, that after birth something which is not imposed upon him. By birth itself he have it, which is not given to him after birth. That should be his jati, that is his true character. So, jati should show, or the rather imply the true recognition of the individual of the true character of that person. That should be the jati. And karma shows that he or she should have absolute freedom in choosing his course of action according to his jati, his character. Shankaracharya explains these four types of people according to the mixture of three gunas, that Brahmana is the one who has the predominance of sattva. So accordingly, his pros and cons of his characters will be like that. In the later chapter, in 17th chapter, probably it comes, both Dosha and guna, virtues and pitfalls of both of these when there is a dominance of particular guna are shown there. Citing the faults of the sattva guna, he says, Sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanaga. That sattvic person, he may get attached to the sukha or to the pursuit of jnana. He might get trapped there. Even that is trap. Even that is a fault. He has to go beyond it. That sattva is not something, yes, through sattva, he has to transcend even sattva. From tamas, he has to rise to rajas, rajas to sattva, sattva to, he has to transcend even sattva. Rather, proper balance of all three gunas in one's life and character, that is most important. Or rather, what is combination of these gunas or predominance or prevalence of these gunas or qualities in one's person, accordingly to choose one's actions so that a synchronization is sought into his inner character, inner being, and outside his action, so that he can attain peace. That should be the way of dharma. It is not eating something you try to alter your gunas, rather than you know from the effects of these gunas what kind of person you are, and then you seek, you find out, you curate the path of your dharma, that how you should act, what should be the course of action which can make your life fulfilling, contented and satisfactory. What kind of person you are. It is not boasting about that I am this, I am that. What you truly are, accepting it, knowing it, and then chalking your own path of action. We can very easily understand that the true meaning of this jati, the character by birth, has been totally rigged or made into a social system, and then hereditary and hierarchy. We can understand that, and it is always going to be. It happened earlier, it will happen tomorrow. Jati is never going to die. This is what Swami Vivekananda said. He said, and it is true. He said, in India we have some jati according to some by profession, their by birth, etc. You have to here, at least these people try to stick by their profession, by their standards and expectation of their caste or social norms, etc. But here jati is decided in the US, talking about in that context. Here jati is decided by dollars. A evil person, he has gotten money through evil. As soon as he donate some big donation to a church, so he is absolved of his sins, or do similar kind of charity, etc. So immediately people start talking good about him. He is elevated in the society. Now, however, even in the Indian context, it is true, and it is very obvious to understand that it has been rigged. Some people having that try to get some privilege, coveted those privilege, and try to deprive others of that, make into a hereditary system and hierarchical system. Both. As long as man is man, he is selfish, and he is going to do that. Even in today's context, every day, with the time, this jati will remain, classification of people will remain. They will remain. They will just change their titles. Somewhere there is a jati called white, and somewhere there is a jati called black. There is a Caucasian and there is a African. Because classification is very inbuilt in your psyche. That's how you know, you process information. That's how you do it. So it is your very inbuilt nature. Knowing differentiation, that is one thing. And there is a variation in the creation. And this is easier. That stereotyping a class, it makes your life easy. That's why you do it. Oh, this so such and such person must be so like that. Biases are easier because they does not. You try to go with the general thumb of rule. So this is such and such kind of person must be so must be like this. Our habit of avoiding this rigor, brain always implement these easier ways, and this will always reflect when you give up hard work, try to seek a easier way, it will result into such kind of disaster even on some so big plane, on civilizational plane. This will happen. It is always. All people in general, they does not have that. Every person, it is in the human being to try to seek a easier way. So these methods of classification, attaching labels to it, and attaching instead of me seeing something, jumping to conclusions, this is very easier. This is how we form jatis. So such and such person, he talks such and such way, he has such and such character, so he must be such and such person. You infer very easily. Because your brain finds that it does not have time, it does not have patience to process all throughout the information to get the exact data to work it out. So jati is going to remain. So, but here it is talked about the character of the person and the propensity of the actions, the person which he will choose on the basis of his character. Guna, karma, vibhagasha, these are the 4 kinds of people. They all come from me, come from God. Sattva pradhana is Brahmana. That person whosoever is, guna is pradhan. That will decide. Karma is secondary. Karma is gauna. He might be doing some other work, herding cows, or doing farming, or selling vegetable. That person can be Brahman if he is Sattvic, if his character is Sattva Pradhana. What does Sattva signify? It is discussed, because until 18th chapter we will discuss Gunads. That person has already on the verge of enlightenment, conviction, and those virtues are now so much has become his person. Anasakti, that purity, that anahankara, the lack of ego, that slowly it is setting into his person. That person is Brahmana, Sattva Pradhana. Similarly, who are the other 3 types? Where Sattva is Gauna and Rajasa is Pradhana, that is Kshatriya. So similarly, then who is Vaishya? Then Raja is Pradhana and Tama is Gauna, that is Vaishya. And the fourth category is Raja is Gauna and Tama is Pradhana. So basically lethargic person, and pushed at the most, he can do into some action. That is Shudra. Many of us are lying around us. Shudra, that is the quality. Couch potato means he will not as if if he is thirsty to go to kitchen and get water. Tama Pradhana. If almost pushed, so he will do some action. Raja is Gauna. Not his primary choice of to do any action. That is the Shudra person. You will see these 4 archetypes everywhere. So these are the 4 kinds of people. But they all come from me. They all come from me. All come from God. So according to their character and propensity towards the action based on their character, these are the 4 kinds of people. He says, Tasya kartaram api mam. Though I am the doer or maker of these all people, Vidhi akartaram avyayam. Vidhi kartaram avyayam. So what is the meaning? That again and again we will see that Krishna is saying and saying something, and to balance that again he is something saying which seems apparently contradictory toward it. It is only being said, sir, to make a clearer point that you should not hastily jump to the conclusion and misunderstand what he is trying to say. In the sense that he is the karta, kartaram apimam, tasya, of those, that he has created them, and also he has not created them. Because apparently they are created, and in the absolute sense that ajopi san avyaya atma, in that sense he is always a karta, he is always witness, he has never transformed, he has never changed, avyaya, inscrutable, he is always a karta, he is always unattached, he is not doing anything. And in the relative sense, where we see these changes, yes, everything is done by God. He is the kartara, he is the karta of everything. Tasya kartaram api mam. Very significant point is that in the 11th verse on the commentary, Shankaracharya uses these words that I pacify or I make happy everyone, anugrunami dadami, but not due to raga or dvesha or my attachment or aversion to something. I lack that, I do not have that. It is not my through attraction, this aversion or attachment. I created some people good for me and bad for me. No, it is not that. I absolutely lack that. I do not have that. चातुर्वर्ण्यम मया सृष्टम गुण कर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारम अपि माम विद्धि अकर्तारम अव्ययम. Avyayam. So this is the 13th verse, and we will take further this discourse. This is very interesting line of thought, a train of thought. We see here what is happening in the mind of Bhagwan, and we will continue this discussion in the next class. We will conclude our class here at 6 p.m. For your knowledge, I would like to tell you that the next Sunday, which happens to be on the 15th, which on account of Deepavali, we will not have the class. We will again resume our class from the next Sunday onwards. Till then, we will rest this discussion here. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.